Well, hello everybody. It's Dusty Sage with MiceChat.com, and I am here with Natalie Kipper and Suzanne Lee, who frequently join me on our lives. We don't have Natalie very often, but when we do, we like to pick her brain about merchandise and things. We are here at Disney's California Adventure, but not for long. We're going to talk to you about Halloween and some things going on here, and then we'll head over to Disneyland where things are... Go to Pixar Fest, but bring your wallet because it's expensive. And not very good.
No, and filled with tons of food coloring.
Tons of food coloring. We won't tell you what it does to your intestinal tract.
Or your mouth.
It's very
Inside
very colorful. Oh, I'm turning this around. What? I did it. This is California Adventure, everyone. We're not here often. We try to avoid. They've got some merchandise and things over here for Pixar Fest. Natalie, Pixar Fest seems to not be resonating. The merchandise booth was completely empty. No one was shopping. No one was buying food at any of the food booths. What do you think is going on? People not like Pixar anymore?
Honestly, I think it's a combination of things. Things did sell out initially, and then I think maybe what's going on is that the event is lasting long enough that things are no longer selling out. People have already purchased their items. They're fine because, you know, most of Disneyland are locals and they've already purchased their stuff. Pixar Fest has gone on for a while now. They're fine. They don't need to be shopping for it anymore.
Right. And I think the pricing is a big deal. I think the cost of the food and some of the merchandise has just gotten so high that people are pulling back. So unless you just have to have it, okay, this is interesting. This is the mom and daughter from Turning Red. We love them. Mei Lin and Ming Li. That's cute. See the little panda there? Yeah, I love seeing them here. They're wonderful.
It's real character interaction.
I believe they were introduced for Lunar New Year.
That's correct.
And then they went away, and then they figured out a way to bring them back for Pixar Fest, but sort of after the fact. They weren't here when Pixar Fest started. Now, the real reason we are at California Adventure today, partially to do with this giant wall that you see here. Are they building a new attraction? No. They're doing refurbishments just before the Halloween season, and Halloween season seems like it's so far away, but it isn't, because Halloween starts in August this year at the Disneyland Resort, and this is Villains Grove over here. So I know they're doing some refurbishment work of the trails and the kids' play area, but they will be returning Villains Grove. So anybody that thought that they were building an attraction, they're not, because Villains Grove is returning here. Oogie Boogie Bash is the big offering here at California Adventure. Last year, they sold out all of their nights of Oogie Boogie Bash in a few hours. A little bit different hour for some people, but in most cases, folks got right in. They got their tickets, and that first day, only a few nights had sold out. It's been days now since they started selling tickets. They have sold out most of the nights, but there are still some available. Suzanne, how many nights do you think are left?
There are 6 nights left, and they're all on Tuesday.
Why Tuesday?
Maybe because it's Tooth Day, and they don't want to get cavities from the party.
Oh my gosh, it's Tooth Day. We can never get a straight answer out of Suzanne. It's always a pun. You should have been a dad. That's a bad dad joke. That's a bad dad joke. But I think it's interesting that there are about 7 nights left. And here we are, you know, not quite a week into the sales, but if you wanted to get tickets to Oogie Boogie Bash, you had your opportunity, and it went pretty well. They also did something else new this year. The highest level Magic Key had the first opportunity to purchase, and then all Magic Keys had an opportunity to purchase, and then finally the whole general public had an opportunity, and there are still dates available. So I think that's good. They've sold out most of the nights. They will definitely sell out the whole run. If you want tickets, get them. But I think that they've done a good job. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to stop by and see Big Al. We're also going to check on the situation of the pipes here at Grizzly because I haven't been over here in a while. So it's a hot, and humid few days here in Anaheim. This is a nice, cool spot. Get soaking wet. The tip is to ride by yourself and do single rider on this ride because you'll wait minutes instead of hours. Do you see the pipes back there, Natalie? That kind of weird crisscrossing of pipes?
Oh yeah.
They look like rocks, right? But the L shapes, those are the pipes and they've just covered them. They do have a little bit of steam going, but they still have no geysers. And that's what they've been trying to fix is the geyser situation. When they did the long refurb, they didn't tear up all of that rock work. They could have gotten to all the pipes and rebuilt it all. To save the money, they ran pipes over the existing rock work, covered it up with, the fake rocks, but still they're not able to get the geysers to work.
That's disappointing.
It's a bummer because now it's hot. It's too late for them to fix it now. They're not going to shut the ride down in the middle of summer. So we'll have to wait at least another year for them to get the budget to properly rip all of that rock work out and bring back our geysers, which in a water ride like this you want. Long line, it's stretching way outside of the Q building, down the pathway for folks to get a little bit wet here at California Adventure. Grizzly Peak Recreation Area is actually a Disney Vacation Club info booth. They added Big Al here a few months ago. Mike and I used our magic bands to make him talk. You have a magic band on?
I do.
It's not charged.
Get close to him and see what happens.
Where in particular?
Nothing? I don't know. I don't have any clue. Before, when you even walked by in the trail, he looks like he's made out of real wood. See how he's splitting? His face is splitting and his chin is splitting.
Yeah.
He's splitting right down the middle, like he's going to fall in half. Look, this poor bear. He's split. But that's Big Al. It's just a tease. They're not bringing the country bears here, although, wouldn't it be great if they did? I think it would be wonderful for them to build a small Country Bears theater. There's a few places where they can build it. There's a lot of space over here on the left. There is some area over here on the right in the back there where they could build a small theater, kind of carve it out of part of Grizzly Mountain back here. So a few places where it could go. And there's a brand new Country Bear show coming to Walt Disney World. All of the songs are inspired by your Disney favorites, sung by country and western songs. So they're not actual country and western songs. They're Disney songs done in the country and western style. But I'm really interested in it. Do you know any of the songs that are coming, either one of you?
Try Everything. I'm actually excited about that
From
one.
Zootopia.
From Zootopia.
I got to hear that one performed live by the artist who's going to be singing it in the attraction. It was pretty cool. She was amazing live. Do you know any of the others, Suzanne?
I don't.
I know they're going to do the Bare Necessities from Jungle Book. My brain is sort of a whole new world.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a whole new world. See back there, there's this chain link fence at one I don't ever remember seeing before. But is that a rat trap, a fog machine, or a cat castle? Do you see what I'm talking?
It's a fog machine.
It could also be a cat feeding station.
Something. It's weird. See that back there, folks? Anyone know what that is? Cat castle, fog machine, or rat trap?
Those cats have been
That is an area where you'll frequently find cats. The cats of Disneyland.
So you did Disney for us?
Disney doesn't officially talk about them. So if you're media and you're trying to get information about the cats, Disney is not allowed to acknowledge them, even though they do take care of them. They get rounded up every year and chipped and go to the vet, and they put stations out for them. Hello, we love you too. Happy Friday Live. Woo! That's the monorail you hear going by. It's weird in this section of the park, we're in the national parks right here, right? This is themed to our nation's natural parks. beautiful, and then the monorail goes through. So if it can work here, it can work anywhere. You can have monorails anywhere. There's no news about Soarin' around the world other than we always look to see if it has a long line, which it does. I'm ready for them to do a new film for Soarin', and I really want the film, as many of you that listen know, to have more of a story. So instead of it being a clip show, we already know what the ride is capable of. Instead of it just being a clip show of places around the world, if you want to see the world, folks, watch Nat Geo or hop on a plane and see the world. Because that's not a great way to see it, because it's all CGI. I want them to do a story. I want them to use that technology to tell a story. So let us know in the comments what stories you think would be adapted well to California Soarin'. I know in the past I've spoken about different ideas that I've had over the years, including for Halloween, doing the ride of the Headless Horseman. Going through the swamp and stuff, but they could also just as easily do soaring through some of your favorite fairy tales. Could be any of a number of things. But we'd love to hear your thoughts on what would be a good fit for California Soarin'. There might be more of a story instead of just a clip show. Bright, clear, hot summer day. Giving you that zen moment, like you feel like you're here. The trolley weighs more than you. You always give it the right of way. We were looking at wait times earlier. Not so bad. Middle of summer used to be the busy season for Disney. Not anymore.
Like a 35-minute wait for web slingers earlier.
35-minute wait for web slingers. It was just about an hour for Radiator Springs Racers. Longest wait was for Guardians. Sometimes they have a tower that goes down and it makes the waits longer. There's Horace Horsecollar. That's why I'm headed this way. I was ready to leave the park already, but I love a Horace Horsecollar. You see him there, center of the screen. And off he goes. One of the things that we've been getting inundated, everybody's worried about the cuts to entertainment here at the Disneyland Resort, particularly here at California Adventure. We know that the Hyperion remains closed. Fantasyland Theater has no show. They're just using it as a sort of an event space for Pixar Fest. They cut the Doctor Strange show, which is honestly not a huge loss, but it's sad that there's no entertainment there, but it just wasn't a great show. And then the OC Register wrote that the citizens of Buena Vista Street were going away, but I've got good news for you. They're not going away. They may have cut back their hours a little bit, but they're definitely still here. In fact, Suzanne got a great picture today.
I did. I saw the photographer out today and the woman with the dog, but she didn't have her dog with her because it was too hot to have her dog out with her.
Oh, that's a clever way to explain not having the dog. I like the mail delivery bicycle rider one. I think she's hysterical. And Officer Blue, and sometimes there's more than one Officer Blue out at the same time. But Officer Blue gives you happiness citations. So if you're not happy enough, you're not smiling big enough, he'll write you a citation.
The postal lady will sometimes give you a letter to Santa.
Really?
Yes, I've seen pictures of this.
That's fun. You know what I'm not seeing? We're just days away from 4th of July. And what do we not see on Buena Vista Street?
No red, white, and blue.
None. Zippo. No red, white, and blue bunting. But when we get over to Disneyland, I'm sure the situation will be better there, right, Suzanne? It has to be.
Like it has to be.
Yes.
How can you not have it? I mean, yeah, they didn't have it last year, but come on.
Natalie is our merchandise editor, and she writes a lot about new merchandise that's in the parks and resorts and online. And one of the new things recently, I visited Disney's new tropical paradise of Lighthouse Point, and they had new merchandise. You wrote about it, but I brought you a couple of items.
You did.
Do you want to show a couple of the things?
Yes, I do.
All right, why don't you get them out and then we'll show them as we're walking across. Goodbye. We miss you already. We'll see Natalie here in just a second. She's digging things out of her bag to show you because I brought her some surprises from Lighthouse Point because I love her, and also because bum bum bum, it's your birthday. It's birthday. It's Natalie's birthday.
Very lucky.
Yes, you are.
Very lucky girl.
You can see there's no lines of people waiting to get in. Lots of people leaving. Lots of people leaving California Adventure, where they managed to not build shade in the park. So when it gets hot, people just leave.
It's odd that way, isn't it?
Train pulling into the station, the Ripley, Disneyland. I don't know how I can see that far away because I do not have great eyes. I knew that was the Ripley. There's the big Pixar tower. Every time I walk by it, it makes me sad because they really need to build a permanent fountain there. Something of that scale. Hong Kong Disneyland has the marvelous boat with Steamboat Willie on it. Be fun to have something of an equivalent stature in the esplanade between Disneyland and California Adventure. General lack of shade here. It'd be nice to have little gardens with big fluffy trees, benches around them, so you have a spot to wait for your guests. You know how often somebody says, meet me in the esplanade, and I always say, no, too hot. Natalie, did you find your gifts? All right, why don't we show them off? You can stand here in front of the beautiful flowers.
Okay, Suzanne, will you hold Heen, please?
All right, what's this dog's name?
His name is Heen. He's from Howl's Moving Castle, and I made him some mouse ears.
You made him the mouse ears.
I did.
Oh, and he's got a Wilderness Explorer's badge that you also made?
Yes, for Pixar Fest, of course.
I love it.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so when I saw you today, you got what?
I got, okay, show and tell time. Okay, these are from, well, they're all from Lighthouse Point.
That's right.
These are by Loungefly. They're an ear headband.
Yep.
And there's actually there's other merchandise with this design on it.
That's
and
right.
It's based on Mickey.
This is Mickey, but they have the pink one that's Minnie. They have Goofy and Donald.
And Pluto.
And Pluto. So each of them has their own kind of stylized island-looking merchandise. But these are the ear headbands. They have them Minnie and they have them as Mickey. And they are squeezy.
Yeah, they're squish.
Look, they squish. And they look like leather, but they're not.
No, they're polyurethane, aka vegan leather.
Vegan leather. All right, what else? We're running out of time. It is hot.
It is hot. It's very
We're getting
hot.
into the shade, but look at that. Mickey and his island wear. Look, he's got the headband on and his shoes.
And he's got the DCL logo right here.
Very nice, very
And
nice. And then the matching Minnie.
Matching Minnie.
And they're in the outfits you find them in on the island. So when you visit Mickey and Minnie on the island, they're wearing these same outfits.
They are.
In fact, I did see an influencer who made herself a dress that looked just like Minnie's dress.
That must have been
And
hard.
she was wearing it when she met Minnie.
That's adorable, though.
Yeah,
I love
that's a lot of effort. We put a lot of effort into the things we do here at Mice Chat, but frequently not that level of effort. All right, we're looking, as we always do, we're scanning for the empty gauge. We're scanning. Thank you. Here we are at Disneyland, magic land of ours. You can't not love this entry, folks. The train station, the berm with Mickey Mouse in flowers. I think it's the best of them all. They have one at Magic Kingdom, not as magical. Paris has one, really neat with fountains around it. Still not as magical. This does it right.
It has that classic look.
That's a classic look. Off we go into the classic park. What's left of the classic parts of the park we're going to see. And we're going to look at all of that beautiful red, white, and blue bunting up and down Main Street for 4th of July, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's what we're looking for.
Jump up here.
One last look back into the sun. You can see how we feel here. It's really, I mean, not at this moment crazy hot. More the humidity than anything else. But Disneyland has been having some low attendance, and they would like to chalk that up to the weather. When I tell you, it isn't the weather. It's the prices. Some of the most expensive days of the year to visit the park. And they found that as soon as the prices went up to near $200 for one day, one park, their attendance dropped dramatically. Shock. There's the Dapper Dan's over there with Pluto. See, Pluto is walking towards us. We're going to try and go that direction. We'll see the characters. We'll see the Dans. Dans are headed off to the left, and Pluto's headed off to the right. So there's no good way to go. Who to follow, who to chase down? The dog. Lots of people waiting for the parade. Too hot to wait for a parade in the sun. Not good for your skin. Ladies, wear your sunscreen. When I was young, they used to say, always wear your sunscreen, and I never wore it. Boy, am I sorry now. I do like them putting things in the town square garden. Having the Disney 100 Mickey there was really cool. The Pixar Fest sign is kind of cool, although I wish it wasn't flat. Wish it had like more dimension to it, but it's still cool. When this is over, they'll put the Mickey pumpkin out. And then after that, of course, the Christmas tree. But starting again in January after the holidays end, I'd like to see the Mickey come back. Maybe not painted as the 100th, but it sure would be nice. Now, what am I not seeing, ladies? What am I not seeing on Main Street, USA? I'm seeing beautiful, colorful rainbow Pixar banners, but I'm not seeing no red, white, and blue. The second year in a row, no red, white, and blue, no 4th of July here at Disneyland. It used to be pretty much from 4th of July all the way down, all the way through Labor Day. It would be red, white, and blue here, but no more. There's a reason for it, though. It's not Disney being anti-patriotic. It's that last year they had Disney 100, which is raging in the middle of summer, right? It's the height of that celebration. And this year, the whole summer celebration is Pixar Fest. So there was no need for them to do temporary red, white, and blue. But I think that since they put no banners on the buildings, wouldn't it have been nice to have a few? Especially as you enter the park on the railings, around Mickey. They didn't have to do them on the lampposts. They could have left those as Pixar, but put a few bunting up on the buildings would have been nice.
I mean, next year is Disneyland's
70th birthday.
Maybe they could put something up for that in January.
Yep. What colors would the 70th be? Your 70th birthday is what? You know, like rubies or diamonds or paper. I've never, well, everything's platinum and silver and it all ends up looking the same. They just did the platinum thing for Disney 100, right?
Yeah, the 70th wedding anniversary color is platinum.
It's platinum again.
Did for the 100th.
Yeah, so they'll just trot out some of their old platinum.
So they could bring Mickey back.
Actually, they should. Yes. Let's make that happen, everyone. Just quick peek in. I'm looking to see if the children of the corner. No, they're still spring. Rumspringa.
What kind of costumes should they have for summer? The children of the corn.
I think Lederhosen. The Matterhorn just celebrated its 65th anniversary, I think. So it would have been nice if the children of the corn were celebrating with Lederhosen. But I'm not paid to come up with those ideas for Disneyland, so completely disregard them. There's still a little bit of purple in the jacaranda tree. You see that? And these bean pods. Seed pods.
This is the moment magic was made for.
All in all, dreamers.
And enjoy the ride, because in just a few
We're also just really days away from them doing a big shutdown on the west side of the park, of the bridge and all of that. So as we go through, we're going to look at the crowd flow. But notice, as we wander through, how navigable everything is. And we're in one of the big pinch points of the park right here as you go over the bridge into Adventureland, but traffic is moving just fine. Certainly feels a little more crowded here than anywhere else that we've been through on our journey so far today, but still, this is nothing. Just smattering of people. I'm still doing a countdown on the Tiki Room Lanai. I think we're on borrowed time for the gods and goddesses in the garden. And Disney has been on a constant march of removing culturally insensitive things from the park, particularly things that might be religiously I don't want to know if I should say insulting or not, but I think that if you were Hawaiian and they were making fun of your gods, you might be upset. And I just feel like that's going to change sooner rather than later. Give it a year or two, we'll probably see the Enchanted Tiki Room change to be more of a tropical hideaway, a tropical oasis, and less of a gods and goddesses kind of a thing. Natalie, anything new going on in any of the shops over here in Adventureland or Frontierland that you can think of? It's pretty much...
Off my head, I wouldn't say so.
It's summer.
But you know, actually, that's not true. The Lion King merchandise. Because it's the anniversary, I believe, 30th of the Lion King, which will make you feel old real fast.
Wow, 30 years since the Lion King came out. 30!
And there's a slew of new merchandise. There's the Zazu shoulder pet plush, of course, what I'm going to talk about first. There's hoodies, there's shirts. I believe there's a hat as well.
I'm going to age myself. I was in college when the Lion King came out.
And we still love you, Dusty.
There's a 50 right there on the sign. I won't say why that's significant, other than it's a 50-minute wait. We just talked about how long ago I was in college. Whew, now I am dripping. Like, there's some humidity and the bright sun, but the second you step into the shade, like we're standing in the shade right here, and it's comfortable.
Noticeably different.
But one step into the sun and poof, Dusty melting. In fact, the early title that we had for this video before we changed it at the last second was going to be Watch Dusty Melt and Other Disney News. But then I said, Natalie, what's the real temperature? Because people won't understand if we use that title and it's not hot. And you said it's 78. I'm like, oh, we have to change the title.
I didn't look at the dew point, I'm sorry.
The dew point, yes. Our weather woman. They've got the, reason I stopped here, they've got the water wheel and the contraption thing both working right now. So lately it's been hit or miss, but at least they're trying to get it working. Let's go up and over the bridge. Also going to point out, notice the number of people going up into the treehouse. While it's not a heavy stream of people, it is a constant stream of people. And I'm glad to see that because they spent a lot of time and money, years, to get that treehouse reopened. Not busy here at Pirates. You see a lot of empty space in the queue. Hey there. You can just walk right in. If the queue starts in the forecourt there, it's not a long line. That's great news. But it also shows you how empty Disneyland is today, middle of summer, kids out of school, but the park not busy. What is wrong? Where?
It's a restock. But
Oh, yeah. We're gonna point it out just because it's so ironic.
Radiator.
Yeah.
It's a restock, but still.
What's wrong with that sweatshirt? The thing that they are promoting most about Fantasmic is the giant dragon that you do not see during Fantasmic. So I encourage you, buy the sweatshirt and then join the class action. Where's our dragon? They sold us the merchandise with a dragon on it. We want our dragon. We want the dragon. Beautiful New Orleans Square. You can still buy perfume and shop for jewelry. Crystal blowing shop from the Arribas brothers. Tons of black suited folks on the island getting ready for the big show tonight. The big show. You can see they're putting up the tarps on the side of the island. On the stage there's 3 or 4 stage hands. They're opening the boxes, putting up the safety railings, getting everything ready for the crew. Now there's news now at the mansion. You see all of the construction walls all the way around. I don't think we're going to lose all of these construction walls very soon, but some of them are very likely to come down in July. And I do believe that they are working feverishly towards trying to open the mansion in Haunted Mansion holiday mode this July. So they promised to have it open by Halloween, which is end of August, but I think we're going to see the attraction open sooner than that. Sometime in July or early August, I suspect that we will see the mansion. They're basically done on the inside. So they just have to get the front portion of the queue where you enter the mansion ready. All of this garden stuff may not be done in time, which doesn't matter because they will use a virtual queue to keep the line short enough that they can just queue people up in that big looping front part of the garden.
You can get a churro. I get a cookie.
Do you know the thing I think people asked me the most about after our last video was the cookie thing. That Disney does fresh bake the cookies there at Harbor Galley. They're fresh baked, but they're not from scratch. They're just buying that dough from a company that also sells it at Walmart. And then they're just baking it fresh, but they are delicious. I'm gonna go the long way around the Harbor Galley. I love this building. They used to have grass on the roof. Now it's shingles. Do you remember the planted roof from way back when? They're getting ready for Fantasmic over here as well. You can see the acrobatics mat that they're placing. There's the other one just kind of perched there, ready to fall into the water. But they put those there so the stunt performers can do their big falls and things. I haven't been wanting to watch the show because it has no dragon, and I did come and see it once and I was so disappointed. But I've been hearing at least that they don't do the full stunt performance on the Columbia anymore. So like Peter Pan doesn't fly up anymore, does more climbing. See how the front of the ship here, she's peeling. Look at that. That's not great. Because this ship was just in refurbishment. Huh, that's odd.
Barbara wanted to know exactly what is closing on the west end.
So I'm gonna show Barbara
All right.
what's closing on the west side of the park, because basically what we just walked through, Harbor Galley, is going to be the last open thing. And then everything from this point on is going to be closed. Now notice there's water running right now in the flume for Tiana's Bayou adventure, former Splash Mountain. It's hard for me to...
Wait, did I just hear
I heard a
something?
boat splash down. Let's see.
There it is.
Here it comes. Watch this, folks. Doodly-doo. Mighty fancy meeting. Pretty good. Show us your bone. That's a song from Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yay, we saw a log. You guys are gonna have to get some photos for me for the Monday update because that was awesome, right? Now, we just saw a boat splash down, but folks, there is no water running on that flume. Look, no water on the waterfall.
I like that sound.
How do they do it? Because the waterfall, you're not floating, you're on a track. So it's actually like a roller coaster in that portion of the ride. Same is true of the section where you're going into what used to be the bees. You know, there's nothing in here but bees, and now it's time to make you little. But you go up and down over what is essentially roller coaster track. Here comes another boat. All right, if you like seeing the boats, folks, give me a thumbs up. I wanna see some life in these here comments. I wanna see your reactions to seeing boats finally cycling here at Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland. Of course, today is the official opening of the attraction at Walt Disney World. So although the attraction has been in previews now for almost a month, today was the official opening, and to celebrate the official opening, they have released the entire soundtrack of the ride. I have it embedded for you today on micechat.com. So after this video, go to micechat.com and press play in the very first section of our Tiana's Bayou Adventure guide, because I've got the whole soundtrack for you. Won't be long now, folks. It's almost there. I do think that we are going to be opening surprise previews sooner rather than later. They're coming along pretty quickly now in this attraction. They're painting some things, installing some animatronics, but most of the big details are ready to go, including the entire exterior. It is so bizarre, though, to see those boats going without water on the waterfall, right? I thought there were people in there, but it was just a different colored headrest on the boat. See, they added that weather vane on top of the lift hill there. And it looks like there's a big rock on the scaffolding in front of it. You see that?
I do. I don't know where they're going to put it.
There we go. What we were talking about is at the top of the lift hill there, that's the pointy building. You can just make out a new lightning rod or weather vane that's on top of the point of the building there. Of course, in New Orleans, you're in a storm capital of the U.S. Just like in Orlando, they put lightning rods on everything that's a particularly decorative piece, and it was made in New Orleans. So they used a lot of artisans from New Orleans and Louisiana, local areas there, to build a lot of the things for the ride. Even some of the food that they've been bringing to Disneyland comes from New Orleans, the area, and is shipped here, including some of the bread at Tiana's Palace. Just watching the Fantasmic boat go, the workers dock over here at Hungry Bear, and then they bring things over to the island, including people and stuff and equipment. I'm going to zoom in also on the mountain from here, as you can see a lot more of the moss that they have sprayed onto the entire building. See one of the boats going there, but how green and mossy that the attraction looks now. Neat. I am such a nerd. Love this kind of stuff. How green that mountain is. It must rain a lot in the bayou. Most of those plants are fake. There are a few real plants still on the mountain, but most of it, almost all of it, is now fake. That's how they can keep it blooming throughout the year, how they keep it from drying out. It makes it more water-wise, less of a chance of a fire hazard. It's much more of an issue in Florida where things get hit by lightning than here. We have Suzanne and Natalie still geeking out over there, taking photos and video of the mountain as it goes. But we must move along. We must forge ahead. My temptation was to ask her if I could be in the show tonight, but I resisted. I'm zenning out. I'm enjoying this little respite from the long, long walk from Pixar Pier Lagoon over there, where they do World of Color, all the way over here towards Galaxy's Edge. And we've walked through a lot of heat, some light crowds, a total lack of 4th of July decorations, nothing patriotic, but now here we are at the edge of the galaxy itself, about to enter Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I had a little bit of news about Galaxy's Edge last week when I told you all that the Imagineer responsible for Galaxy's Edge, and in fact the entire Disneyland portfolio creatively at Imagineering, Scott Trowbridge, is moving on from the Disneyland project. We're moving him over to international parks. We actually think that's great news because it really had a stranglehold on the land and the timeline, and being insistent that they not add things into the land that the guests want. Imagine a Harry Potter land without Harry Potter. So that's what he did to Galaxy's Edge. And you hear a lot of like wind and creatures, and there's a music scape in this land, but there's no music. They don't play the music from Star Wars in the land. Instead, they pump up really, really loud aircraft and the animals and stomping of things and wind rustling through the trees. People leaving the queue, so the ride is down. His magnum opus, the nearly always broken Rise of the Resistance. Love to see them tackle that ride, get another company in to fix the problems of their initial low-cost vendor. And when they're at it, add some characters that people actually want to see. Now this is a Lightning Lane attraction. Since the ride is down, I'm just going to show you all something new here. Big changes to Lightning Lane this week. They are taking effect at the beginning of July, but essentially to avoid the confusion. So this is a Lightning Lane, but you know what else is a Lightning Lane? Pirates of the Caribbean. What is the difference between these two Lightning Lanes? This one here in Star Wars Land costs you extra money. The one for Pirates, you pay one fee and it's good for the bulk of the other Lightning Lane attractions. So some Lightning Lanes were included, some Lightning Lanes were extra cost, and it caused so much confusion amongst guests who bought their Genie Plus with Lightning Lane only to be told that Rise of the Resistance wasn't included, or Radiator Springs Racers. So to avoid all that confusion, they're dropping the whole Genie Plus name. So there's still Genie that tells you what the wait times are and how to make your restaurant reservations. But the Lightning Lane is now sort of a separate feature. There's Lightning Lane Multipass, like from Blade Runner, remember, Multipass. So Lightning Lane Multipass is for the bulk of the Lightning Lane rides. And then there's Lightning Lane Single, is that what they call it? Or yeah. Lightning Lane Single something or another. And that one is the extra cost, is just for the one ride. So you pay extra for the rides. I personally think they should just have completely separate names. Not use the Lightning Lane at all for the extra cost ones. Maybe those should be called Max Pass, which Disney also owns. Disney also owned the rights to Fast Pass, and why on earth they gave that name up, I'll never understand. In fact, it probably would have been best for the bulk of the rides to be Fast Pass or Max Pass, and then these extra cost ones to be the Lightning Lanes. But They don't pay me to make these decisions. I'm just supposed to explain them, which is very hard to do sometimes. What do you think about the new name, Suzanne?
Too many changes. They should have just left it what it was before. I mean, Max Pass was basically Genie Plus.
Right. So they should have called the Genie Plus original, you know, the multi-pass should have just been Max Pass.
Yeah, that's what we were used
Right.
to.
And then give a new name to the Lightning Lane for Rise of the Resistance and the others.
Wherever your town leads, follow them.
There's the little baby Grogu.
Safe travel.
They're playing some sort of a game here with
USC.
Another crew of hunters.
No, we're not hunting them. We're racing them.
so there's some sort of a game they're playing here. It's kind of cool. This is what I'm talking about, folks, with Scott Trowbridge. So this land is so void of life and things going on that they have to have their cast members playing board games with the guests in the pathways when there are all these empty cutouts in the walkway where there were supposed to have been stalls for merchandise and food and festivals, and there should have been characters and stunt performances up on the balconies and things in the land. So we're hoping that now that Scott is gone, that there will be some changes here. I know that some of the folks that work here at the park in high places, as well as at Imagineering, want to take a stab at fixing what most people at Disney now recognize is a flawed land. It could be much more than it is. I do enjoy seeing the characters out, and we're seeing more of them nowadays. It's starting to become like Avengers Campus, where they're putting more and more characters in, which is good. But they need to do more than just trot characters out. They need real entertainment here. Complete lack of entertainment and music. They need roving bands of musical performers. They need some of the creatures at Oga's Cantina. They need to build a second cantina of some sort. Now I'm going to zoom in on a little droid that some of you have seen and many of you have not. Center of the screen there is a droid named Bard, and he conducts the fireworks on nights that there are fireworks on Main Street, USA. Here at Galaxy's Edge, they have special Star Wars version of the music, and Bard is the droid conducting that show that you will see. Very clever way to explain the fireworks that they should have been doing since the very beginning. So lots of little fixes even in the middle of summer to things like Lightning Lane. The reason that's even possible is because summer is no longer the busy season at Disney. It's one of the least crowded times of year to visit. You pay a premium for that. So if you want to visit in the summer, you pay more. But the general result is shorter lines. Doesn't make your line that much shorter here at Oga's. That seems very popular. When you go in, wouldn't you like to occasionally see a stormtrooper walk in or some creature sitting at the bar with a weird smoking? What about Oga? What if she showed up? Only color in this land really are the random banners that they have here and there. And one of the things that has been talked about over the years is setting the land more in a time of festival in the Star Wars universe. So there could be more color in the land, more music, more specialty foods and performances and things. I think that would be a smart first step. Also need to get an attraction going right away. Look at these droids here.
Chopper keeps falling over.
He is pretty cool. Hi there. Off he goes, going right off the table. Bye-bye. I'll save you, little guy. That's pretty fun. There's another one down here. R2 style droid. Love it. But they have cast members doing things like that throughout the land. One, to get you to buy droids, but two, just because there's so little going on. It's another thing that's sort of new, just security, Disneyland security outfits in the land. So Disney is starting to relax its rules for Galaxy's Edge. Saw a little grouping of Imagineers standing in the land observing people. What I'm saying is very true. They are actively looking at things they could do. What are guests engaging with? What are they enjoying? What are they not? We lost Natalie a while back. I hope that she's getting a nice cool drink or something. All of the detail. I mean, that's one thing the land got right, Suzanne. I mean, the detail in Galaxy's Edge is incredible. Disney's never really, since Tokyo Disney Sea, built something that level of detail. Unfortunately, they spent all that money on the detail and the size of it, the infrastructure, and only built 2 attractions and a quick serve and a cantina that you wait forever to get into. Thank you, Scott Trowbridge. Enjoy your time abroad. Now, at Walt Disney World, they made a few more changes. We just are changing the name of Lightning Lane. But at Disney World, they're going to start letting guests schedule their Lightning Lanes in advance.
3 days, I believe, in advance.
A little longer for guests that are staying in the Disney hotels.
Yes.
A little less for guests that are not. But you'll be able to schedule 3 rides in advance. And then on the day of your visit, whatever's left over, you can schedule 1 more, your 4th. So essentially, they're telling people you can ride 3 or 4 rides for the money. We're getting close to the end of this video, but I kind of want to get a little further into the park because we really only saw the west side of Disneyland. There's not a lot going on at Disneyland. It's summer. For the most part, they're not doing new things at this time of year. They will be doing a slew of refurbishments this summer that kind of unheard of in the past, but again, not as busy in the summer. It'll be packed for Halloween and Christmas. So best for them to get some refurbishments done now before Halloween. And then again, they start up again in January, February with more refurbishments, another slow season. But again, prices are cheaper in January and February, and lately it's been busier. Everything is flipped on its head. The old off season is now the high season. It's really wild. I've never noticed that banner before. Right over here, I'm gonna cut these people off. So sorry about that. See that, Suzanne? It's like crowns and fishes.
I don't know why they put
Yeah, these banners are weird. It's like mustaches and paintbrushes, and then a thumbs up. This is weird. A thumbs up, and then a stag of some sort. These look new. I wonder if they're part of some game. Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Huh. The line is moderate for Mr. Toad. Also for Dumbo. 15-minute wait for Dumbo. The parade is rolling by. You know what I think we're gonna do here? I lost Suzanne, but I'm getting in line here. There's no one in line for the teacups, so we may need to wait for a cycle. But I'm gonna take you all on one ride here. Suzanne is very excited. Are you excited, Suzanne? They have all these empty teacups right now. If I'd walked a little faster, we could have gotten on one. They're not even full. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empty teacups. We'll be able to do the parade while we watch, or the teacups while we watch the parade roll by. There's the monorail.
Please remain facing forward at all times. Please face forward at all times, friends.
There's Anna and Elsa on their float in front of the Matterhorn. Directly in front of us. The spinny ride. Rick says, corn dogs and teacups are a bad combo, and they would be. But thankfully, I have had no corn dogs today. Look at all these empty teacups. Into the unknown. Christoph over there pushing his cart. You enjoy this moment of Disney Zen. We're gonna ride this ride and then wrap things up. Give me a thumbs up if you're gonna ride along, or if you're gonna close your eyes, let us know. Yeah, so this is a Viva Navidad, so that's Christmas. And why are they doing Christmas giveaways to Magic Key holders?
Because it was halfway to the holidays this week.
Halfway to the holidays. And they're doing that at California Adventure where? Under the spinny ride?
No, they're in 3 locations. The home store in downtown Disney, Showcase at Disneyland, and Kingsville at DCA.
But only through Sunday.
Tomorrow, only through tomorrow.
DJ sisters, friends. DJ sisters, thank you.
They showed some snacks coming for the holidays, some merchandise coming for the holidays, and the only real new thing is Mickey and Minnie have a new outfit for the holidays this year. This year they're going to be dressed inspired by postal workers. I'm not lying. They are inspired by postal workers this year. I like the blue teacup. We do the blue teacup because I like a blue teacup. They're in bad shape. Look at that. Mad teacup where everything is mad. Oh. Because it came for is the moment magic was made for.
That they were told that these bags are gone. They ran out.
Huh. There's Merlin over there doing his higgin' and spigot. Ando said he wants the purple teacup, but you know what? Ando isn't riding. We are. And we got the blue teacup. Sorry, Ando. A little bit of pixie dust. Are we gonna spin or not spin?
I think not.
Not spin is a good
There's
plan.
not even room for your legs in here.
I know, it's for little people. Years ago, they trimmed all of these vines off of the lantern wires, and I was so heartbroken. I thought, oh no, those vines were so gorgeous. They grew fast, and now it looks like they should really be pruned again because it's just like a bunch of sticks up there. We are in the middle of summer, that should be totally green, but they're a little overgrown. So maybe time for them to replant the vines. Time for a little spin, Andrew. Here we go. Muffy says never spin. Woo! That's what we came for. Oh boy. There's dancers in the background. There's parade music. Oh, that's why they're not playing the music for the ride. We're not hearing the do 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 boop boop do 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 do. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this spin through Disneyland. See what I did there, Suzanne? Oh, so clever. We have a lot for you this coming week. Not for me. That was for somebody else. Somebody not looking forward. Apparently now in the teacups, if you don't look forward, you're in big trouble. I love the fairies back there. Woo! We have a big Monday update for you on Monday. You know what else is on Monday?
Your birthday!
My birthday! I'm 24 years old. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back with you again here on Mice Chat real soon. Be sure to check the site and listen to that music from Tiana. I want to hear what you think. Bye, everybody. See you soon.